What's up, family? How y'all doing? Yeah, man, I'm excited about this one, man, because this video here I'm bringing y'all is live and direct, boots on the ground at the MAGA rally, Trump rally, march, rally in DC. You know, white folks rally, they ain't marching for shit. That's the difference. So I got tongue twisted. They rally to get some shit done. Black people march. Okay, so I gotta deprogram myself. But anyway, we did some interviews. It was beautiful, man. To really show y'all and bring y'all real news about what's really going on here in the nation's capital, and you know where I'm from. And it's amazing, astonishing to see that the lack of news coverage and media coverage of Trump and the litigations from this election. I find it amazing. So I wanted to go down there and get the sentiments of the people. And as you see in the video, you will see that it was actually peaceful. Only thing that was crazy was that I experienced time we got off the train. Me and the pimp guy, we got off the train. We were greeted by some hyenas, a BW, and two of her thug goons with her. I think it was some Black Lives Matter or some Biden-Harris supporters, which was on the opposite side of the rally. They call us sellouts time we get off the train. We walking a block in. So everybody else, the white folks, the Trump supporters, they was giving us heads up, speaking, greeted with no hostility. So I find that intriguing and amazing. Just really, it speaks to really where we are as black men. We're not allowed to have our own thoughts, our own personal process of who we want to vote for, who we don't want to vote for, if we don't vote at all, which is what I didn't do. But you know, I'm not going to crucify nobody for having their own opinions. You vote for your interests. But one of the things I find, you know, and I'm not going to be long with my intro here, but you know, during this whole thing, I believe Trump, you know, me and Pimp gotta talk about this, and I hope I'm wrong, but he thinks Trump still may get in. I don't think so, because I believe in the new age of Aquarius, this is their last call, the system, and which is why they're trying to usher out all these vaccines, and Biden and Harris, they're gonna usher in a socialist society. They're trying to, but I don't believe that's gonna happen. But Trump exposed a lot in his term. And, you know, with the fake news and all of this and that. But I'm thankful for that, because he ushers in black men having their own independent thought and being able to break away somewhat, at least 20% of black men break away from the system and establish their own thought, breaking away from the gynocracy. And so that ushers in, to me, the new age of Aquarius and self-thinking black men. And if anything, I wanna personally think that Trump was allowed himself to be used in that capacity. He may not even know it, but the things that he actually did for black people was a testament to what entails and what, as black men, we need to be demanding for us, you know, being here and the things that they require us to be. It's enough of that. So I'm thankful about that. And you know, most black people are just committed, and they voted for their own death. And if y'all know anything about that, you know, this is what they voted for. So without further ado, I want to say, before this is over, please support the channel, man, so I can bring y'all some new stuff for the 2021. Please do y'all best, man. I appreciate any dollar helps. I really want to bring y'all more videos and stuff like this. So go to the end of the video. Y'all can Cashapp the Gloves Off Show. And thank y'all again. So enjoy the rest of the show. Live down here in DC and at the Trump rally, and it's really interesting. You see, we're behind the Trump towers.
It's a lot of activity, so I'm gonna try to give y'all as much as I can. We're gonna get a few shots, and we're gonna kind of break down why people here, what they want to see, and as you see, there is quite a bit of activity. You know, so we didn't even get to the thick of things. So I just want to do it right in front of the Trump Towers, give y'all that feeling, and so enjoy it in front of the Capitol. What's your name?
Rochelle.
And where you from, Rochelle?
I am from Kokomo, Indiana.
Indiana. Oh, wow. I had some family that was in Indiana. Okay, so tell me exactly why you here at this lovely rally for Trump.
A couple reasons, just in support of Trump and the Republican Party. He's kind of brought it back, and then just with the voter fraud and stuff going on, I just wanted to come and let him know that everybody's and for it's bad for our democracy, and just the whole thing that they cheated is astonishing to me. Like it's
crazy. So did you see any of that in Indiana where you were at particularly, or not really? You just kind of heard of some of the fraud and stuff like that?
No, I mean, we're a red state, and I'm very red, and No, I walked in, voted, and out in 5 minutes, and no problems. Right. Nope.
So now let me ask you, with all this fraud and stuff that they talk, that everybody's talking about, I seem that the media's not really covering it as much. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I love Trump. Trump was like the underdog. He always said he wasn't a politician. I think people forget that. You know, right? Exactly. So he's trying to bring jobs back, which I've seen, being a Black American man, and all the stuff they try to paint him as a racist. You know, and it's really interesting because in our community we strive more under Trump. You know, and so I see a lot of people making these miscellaneous claims about how he's this and how he's that, but they're not sharing that in the media. So how do you feel about that?
The censorship, I think, is awful. I feel like there's a lot of people that just follow the news. I've just switched over to a different news channel, and I can't believe the difference.
Isn't it crazy?
It's insane. And so when you listen, then it kind of makes you question everything they talk about, not even the election, but everything. So
and that's why I love Trump when he said fake news. Remember that? The fake media and all of that. So
yeah. And so a lot of times they'll come on and they just tell you what they want you to hear. And I feel like a lot of people are just very misled. And it's sad,
Exactly. And so really with the whole fraud thing, when I was watching the election, I noticed how they were holding that he won these states. Like in Florida, they were holding it. Everybody know, I think since JFK, the last president to actually not win Florida became president. So that's been a long period. So when you were watching that, how did you feel? What was the temperament amongst the people that you know, and especially in Indiana at that time?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I saw that, I just kind of attributed it to just the hate that they have for him, and just not wanting to believe that, and maybe thinking that they did something that it shouldn't be going red. Exactly. Then that kind of put that in my mind.
And the whole thing with Biden and Harris, let me just ask you this. Now, I don't like them, never did. And how do you feel if somehow they try to wedge him in there? Do you think this become a socialist society? How do you feel about them two?
With having the House and the Senate and having a little bit in there, I think we can kind of prevent, hopefully, some of that. And then maybe Donald will run again in 4 more years. But yeah, I don't think it's good for us, what's happening. And just with the ties to the other, socialist countries, it's very obvious.
I think that it's going to be a bad thing if they actually try to wedge them in.
So let me ask you something. Yes. So were you aware that there was like $1 billion transfer in Bitcoin on the election night?
No.
Yeah, so I just have somebody, like a friend of mine, that kind of researches stuff like that. So I guess there was a transfer of $1 billion on election night, and they're kind of linking that to another country.
See,
I don't want to start a rumor.
This is what I'm saying, but we need that. I need to look into that. Yeah. But I appreciate that. Yeah, you said what?
It was Venezuela.
Venezuela?
Yeah, but I'm not sure why there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that breaking news. I'm going to look into it, but I appreciate it. Your name is again?
Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Rochelle. Absolutely. First of all, what's your name? Where you from?
Craig. Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. Okay. So I'm from D.C. actually. So, oh, you yes sir? Yeah. Okay, cool. So let me ask you. So why are you here? Other than the obvious, the rally, but what is your chief?
Support.
Right. So did you vote for Trump the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't vote. But I support Trump.
Why did you vote?
You know why I didn't? First of all, we're in a Democratic state. What was it, 92% here in D.C.? I think it was something like that. But one of the things, I don't vote. I don't personally vote. I vote for myself. Yeah, well, I should have. But maybe I shouldn't have. But how do you feel right now with the whole rally and really where this whole country and what they're trying to do?
These are the most peaceful people.
I know, that's what I said. Very
They're
peaceful.
all gun toting.
Yeah, and I know that too.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I mean that is crazy, and I noticed that. So, but them trying to wedge Biden in, which I knew that too when they didn't announce the states that he won.
It's just part of the plan. They got. If this doesn't work, do this. If this doesn't work, do that. And if all that doesn't work, we'll get it at election day because we'll do fraud.
So did,
Nancy Pelosi.
yeah,
Chuck Schumer.
So do you think they're gonna try to really pull this off? We obviously see that it was fraud.
I'm being real quiet about it. So.
Being real quiet about it.
Because I don't know. I put so much into this election.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired of being tired.
Right. Well, I mean, so what do you?
Oh, he's got more energy than me. I can tell you that. I tell you, that guy. He went for how many cities and how many days?
Oh yeah, that was impressive.
Come on.
Yeah, that was
Correct.
impressive.
And that's what, he's 77?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, where was Joe? In the basement. This guy.
The creepy Joe. Yeah, all right. Supporters, correct?
Yes, sir.
Where you guys from?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, so
Cincinnati, Dayton area, Middletown.
that's
Okay.
That's
You know,
crazy.
I was born and raised in Ohio, and I've never been to Cleveland.
So how do you guys feel about this whole election, just how everything went down?
It's a total farce. It's been set up. They practice it in California. They practice it in the Republican counties of California. You can go back and see the whole cases against that. They've been working on trying to perfect this. They've been working on this. Slowly but surely, they've been working on this. And you can see it through and through and through. And I've studied many cases where this is. And then in 2016, they were the ones. I have statements from them saying the Dominion system doesn't work. The Dominion system leads to fraud. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots of it. And the Dominion system's bad. We need to review it. We need to look over it. Something's wrong with it. It's messing up the counts. It's messing up the counts. It's doing this. It's doing that. It has this problem. But now all of a sudden it's perfect.
Right.
It's perfect.
Now, how do you feel exactly, especially in Ohio? Because I was watching that too. 'Cause I think Trump had won Florida around the same time Ohio, but they were holding out on saying that he won Ohio.
Oh, yeah. They were holding out on a lot of things because they were trying to see where they needed to throw those ballots. That's why the ballots popped up in the middle of the night, because they knew they had to drive them. They had to get them to the destinations that were still too close to, or, where they could put them to overcome whatever was winning.
Wow.
They were using the swing states. They knew which states, and they were just plotting it out as far as where they were going.
So with this biggest fraud, then you see how they trying to say that he was the most popular president ever and this and that. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I never see Biden fans. And I'm here in D.C. I don't see that. Very small group, but not like that. But what is your concerns about them trying to wedge him in on obvious voter fraud, probably more than ever?
Because it's not about him, it's about power. This whole thing has been a power grab. It's been about going for the big grab because they haven't finished up their plan with China. That was supposed to happen with Hillary, and Hillary didn't make it. They lost. They messed up on that one, so they had to work on it again. That's why they practiced in the California and the midterm elections. Go look it up, I promise you. They practiced it because they needed to perfect it for this election, because they knew this was their last chance, because they knew that once Trump got back in for the second term, he had no holds barred.
I absolutely agree with that, totally. Now, what are your concerns with potentially, it's not confirmed yet, with Biden-Harris presidency?
It'll be the end of America. This will be the last true election we'll ever have, if we ever have another election. Trump's talking about running in 2024. I don't think there's going to be a 2024. And that's the God honest truth.
And so why do you feel like that?
Because they're going on that lockdown, right? He's already said he's going on a lockdown from March to May, right? So during that time, we're going to, all of us, the majority of us, it's going to be stricter than the first one. So see how bad the first one hit us. Now make that stricter. So less essential workers, less stuff, and we all sit at home with borrowed money. And I bet you I can guess where that borrowed money is going to come from. It's going to be purchasing this country. And I can almost guarantee that after those 2 months are up, you're going to open your door and you're going to see Chinese soldiers marching the streets.
That's heavy, man. No, I don't see.
Exactly. They're going to be siphoning off our business, siphoning off our money while we're in lockdown, because at the same time, he's lifting the flight ban. So if he's increasing the lockdown, right? If he's increasing the lockdown for 6 weeks average, whatever, I've heard 4 to 6 and 6 to 8, so whatever. If he's increasing the lockdown, Why is he lifting the flight ban at the same time to let other countries into this country? I mean, think about it.
We got a mess on our hands,
Why would
you
that
know.
be? Why would that be?
And I'm also really concerned with this becoming a socialist society
Oh.
under the regime.
They want the New World Order. Look up the UN agenda for 2030. Look up the UN agenda for 2030, and it'll tell you exactly what they plan on doing.
Now, do you feel, as a Trump supporter, that that this is going to stand? Where do you think this is going to go in the next week or so?
Trump's going to win.
That's what's up.
Trump's going to win. I know that's going to happen, and I'll tell you, in 2016, I didn't even vote for him. I didn't. I was like, I didn't vote for Hillary either. Oh my God, she was Satan reincarnate. I don't care what. She exudes evil from the TV. I've always thought she was evil through and through to the bone. Period. Her, Pelosi, Omar. I could give you so much information on these people because what I do is I'm a computer geek. So I like searching. I like.
You definitely know your information. This is your son here, right? And what's your name?
Logan.
Okay. So what is your whole view on this, Logan? How old are you?
I'm 19. This is the first election I've ever been able to vote in, and I think it's bullshit that the first election I vote in is fraudulent and that I can't get my point across because my vote didn't matter because of all these fake votes of dead people voting. Like,
That's an interesting perspective from a young man. I never even thought about it from that point. So do you think over time, and your mom can chime in too, that this will mess with the integrity of even voting down the future with the younger generation?
oh yeah, for sure. I think that it'll kill all kids that want to get forward in life as well. Like, especially with the tax. Like, if I want to make $400,000, I shouldn't have to get taxed 63%. And like $130,000 is good money, but it's still like, I want to be able to support my grandchildren, my grandchildren's grandchildren.
And I'm gonna share this with you guys as well. Being an African American black man here, it actually, since he's been in, it's actually been better for me economically. So, and I like Trump. I like the idea of him, and so I like what he represents. And so he creates a free market, and which is what all of us should have. Under the socialist agenda, you're not going to have that. It's going to actually, like your mom was saying, it's actually going to get worse. Yeah.
The more the government gets in your business, the worse it is. The regulations were increased in Trump's 8 years. Our businesses went overseas in his 8 years. Our medical supplies went over to China. Why in the world would we move all our medical supplies, something that our country depends on for things, over to China? Why? What would be the reason for that? Why were the manufacturing plants closed down? Why was everybody hit so hard? The farmers, the industry, everything was hit, and people didn't point that out because Obama was just amazing. I knew Obama was a creep by the third year of his first term when he started saying, my medical plan will come out the second year of my second term. That was just a ploy to get people to vote for him for their free insurance. And you remember what happened? Not a lot of people were hit with that. I'm sorry. I couldn't even get it. And I was poor. They told me to get on Medicaid or Medicare or Medicaid. They told me, no, you have to get on Medicaid. You don't qualify. I said, I thought everybody qualified. Yeah. That's what they said. They said everybody qualified. No, you don't qualify. Well, I don't want to get on Medicaid. So why can't I, get on Obamacare? What's the deal with this? And they said, and then what it did is that when I tried to go out and get personal, or even it raised the premium and it raised the deductibles, because what it did is remove the ceiling on health insurance being able to raise their prices, jack their prices up, because he released that. He didn't put them under that pressure that they were under where they had to keep it down to a minimum.
You just dropped some bombs, and I appreciate y'all. And this was real. I already know. So I appreciate it. So thank you again, and y'all be safe going home. Okay. We're down here at the Capitol, right here, the beautiful Capitol, and everybody seems to be really peaceful to me. You got a few hyenas that's yelling gay pride stuff, but everybody seems to be pretty peaceful. I mean, people walking, quietly with their t-shirts on, flags on. It's just a real peaceful environment. I don't know what they were talking about. The Trump supporters going to be crazy and this and that, and I don't see it. So we in the thick of it, and so I want to see. We just kind of looking around, but I see peace. We got the police, you got that, you got some military vets here. You even got a lot of Asians for Trump too. That's another thing. So I really feel like this is a really a great turnout. It's peaceful. I don't see anything. So we want to really dive deep into it right now. So